account. Okay, what is Frank Stone currently out? Allegedly, it's a 5-hour. It's the full game is 5 hours. 80% of people on 6 out of 10 on Steam. It's average IG. It's 5 out of 10 on IGN. Google says it's not too bad. Interesting. The shadow of Frank Stone looms over Cedar Hill, a town forever altered by his violent past. As a group of young friends are about to discover, Stone's blood-soaked legacy cuts deep, leaving scars across families, generations, and the very fabric of reality. Geez, what is it about Frank Stone? Oh my god. When's it released? It actually released a couple of days ago. Let's look at there's a review on Google saying Supermassive's biggest entry since Until Dawn. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had feelings of Until Dawn. Okay. Interactive films are a niche game, but this one is the light for fans of the genre. Supermassive has extended from Supermassive. Okay. People similar within the Quarry, Dark Pictures, Anthology, Until Dawn, Dead by Daylight. Okay. Interesting. Let's look at the Steam reviews. Steam's reviewing 6 out of 10. So, should you play this game? Mixed reviews so far. Recently posted, this would be miserable to play alone. Okay, so in the most helpful reviews in the past day. Behavior did a fantastic job here. The story is great and really liked it. But let's look at the bad reviews, because the bad reviews give a good idea as to this game. Recent reviews. Connection to pacing is. This is a bad review. This would be miserable to play alone. Pacing is horrible. Characters are bland. Story is uninteresting. Choices have minimal impact. Okay, I didn't really get to see what would have happened to our guy, because like my hand got burned, but how did my hand getting burned affect the story? Because I lost my flashlight, sure, but I also still shot Frank Stone. But it's very likely that my my chief officer died. My first and last supermassive game, not my last Behavior published game. It was published by Behavior. Who else? What else did Behavior do? Behavior published games like Project. Oh, interesting. So I guess it was supposed to be mid-game. These games are supposed to be related to Dead by Daylight, and you get benefits in Dead by Daylight by playing these side stories. Project T. Okay, let's see. It's $40 game. They also released Dead by Daylight, Island of Insight. Hooked on You dating sim might be a fun idea to play. But what else was involved in the review of this game? Hello guys. I'm a huge horror fan in results, and as a result, I have latched on to Dead by Daylight like a 5'2" sucker fish. I wanted to share my thoughts on this game, and it is bad. All the characters made me hate them. All of them. There isn't a single person I enjoyed my time in this game with. Noise. I'm a big fan of Dead by Daylight. I liked the Supermassive game. This game ain't it. Dead by Daylight references are put in every few footsteps, but it's, hey look, you know this, all the time. Could remove everything of it and nothing would change. Badly implemented references. Okay, so this is just like this is a Easter eggs the game, what it sounds like. consistent frame rate crashes in cutscenes and QTEs, and I got a bug towards the very end that made a cutscene freeze, and I can't progress the game at all. I'm just stuck in a cutscene after playing 98% of the game. So some people were able to finish it. It wasn't bad. Let's see who else. Who else have been talking to you saying bad things recently? If you haven't played Dead by Daylight, this is a complete waste of time. Now, if you have, then there are a lot of references painfully squeezed. Because that's interesting. I played Dead by Daylight, but I guess I've been so far removed from playing with Shrunken that the references don't really dawn onto me. But I'm wondering, because there's also a game called Project T that was announced. So are they running an anthology series that's affects, because like I said, the parts of this game is going to be affecting your quality of Dead by Daylight. So the more of these games you play, it adds on to your overall value of Dead by Daylight. But I feel like this is a very fun B movie, C movie horror game. I think about it as a horror film. And by watching this horror film that's for some reason $40, you get to add more benefits to Dead by Daylight. Okay. I think I do have Dead by Daylight. Now if you have, there's a lot of squeeze infinite. Some were entertaining, but that's where the fun stops. The story felt incoherent and random. But aren't a lot of horror movies inconsistent? Because it's more of the idea that if you turn off your brain, then you can enjoy the horror aspects of this. Because this is a horror movie, and there's not a lot of people that can make really good horror films. So if you pay too much attention, then definitely it's incoherent and random. But if you accept parts of the game as is, that's where the benefits of enjoying the casting of Frank Stone can be. Because I was having a fun time, because we met a very serious African American that was proving his station, because it's 1964. So he's gonna have that edge. And we have an old man who is ever since the war, I'm still shaking. And there's a bit of it to where you can't really rationalize a person's feeling if you have not experienced it. So they did a really good job. But they said that the choices made minimum efforts, but sometimes minimum impacts are what it takes. Due to heavy performance issues, I can't recommend this at this point. It's really good. And the last recent one, it was really good. The story managed to keep me interested at every point. I liked it very much. Describes Dead by Daylight survivors and killers very well. But I want to know the bad reviews. What are the things that people are saying that are bad about it? It's not really that bad. I was highly displeased. It's beatable in 5.5 hours. For the cost and hype, I expected so much more. The little bits of Dead by Daylight content found was cute, but didn't capture what it could have been. I felt there wasn't much for the killer aspect as well. It's nice time consumer if you want to escape from your normal games, but I would truly wait till it goes on a huge sell. Okay, cool. So, okay, that makes sense, because there is a fine line between making a game making a fan. It feels like a fan-inspired game, but this was from the same developer as Dead by Daylight, because what they're doing is an anthology series of bits and pieces of the world of Dead by Daylight. So if it makes sense for the players of Dead by Daylight, then that's great. Otherwise, there's a big issue to where this needs to be a game that can bridge between first-timers and veterans. And it looks like for first-timers, it's not getting much of a it's not resonating. It resonates for some of the Dead by Daylight fans, because this Dead by Daylight was released in 2016, and people like it. People like the game for what it is, but it's about the expectation where if you put a lot of expectations on it, that's not great. So you have to curb it, honestly. I'm sure the game and its story is great, but the NPCs should not be able to block you. I am soft locked in a room as I'm writing this because one of the characters is blocking a door and I am unable to move. Oh, that is really bad. Then that's just game. That's just like game design, honestly. Because how do I explain this? Well, maybe if I had a problem with like the old man, sure, but I didn't during the early parts. But this is probably later in the game, after 3.5 hours into it. 3.2 ad review time. Product refunded. Okay. Compared to the other games that Supermassive made, this game is really bad. Seeing all the references to Dead by Daylight is nice, but the story and mechanics aren't fun or that interesting. Yeah, because like, this is again, I'm only playing a demo version, so it's not the full extent of the game. But there were bits of like confusion where I was still holding the shift button and I was running. I stopped moving, but the character kept juking around one spot, like they were in the idle animation. The story is bland. The gameplay is janky at best, terribly optimized, often ugly, frequently dull. Bland. I'll have to ask my friend. Okay, that's curious. No, maybe I'll. But yeah, that's honestly the funniest situation where that's just how it is sometimes. Like some movies aren't meant to be taken seriously, so I don't know like what the goal is for a lot of people. Yeah, that's like some of them. That's as much as I can get for some of like the most recent ones. Like even the guy that said the game was bad recommended the game. There are some for sure some performance issues which hopefully can be fixed, but wasn't really enough to stop me from enjoying the game. The story is great. If you're into the genre of this anthology series, then yeah, you'll find reasons to like it. But if people are going into it, this needs to be approachable to where fans of the genre, fans of horror and Dead by Daylight are going to enjoy. Like they said, there's a lot of like Easter eggs that I didn't notice. So if you noticed the Easter eggs, great, good job. I didn't notice it, and I played Dead by Daylight. Might have been a while ago, but shit. Let me see what else. What else did they? But yeah, overall, I enjoyed my time. I know people have their own. Other people have their own opinions about it, but yeah, it's a situation where if you want to really enjoy this game, you gotta turn off your brain, accept the things at face value, and just be forgiving at some places, but otherwise, like that's just how it is. Don't go into the game looking for its problems, and just try to find as many things about the game that you can love, or even the film, because the film idea behind it is pretty cool too. But yeah, I enjoyed it.